Lori, as the oldest sibling, did you feel like you needed to fill in as a parental role?
Well, I definitely felt bad that I couldn't help them. But at the same time, I wasn't much older than they were, so it wasn't my sole responsibility to look after them. I had to look out for myself, and it's just not my responsibility. Like, our parents should have stepped up and helped more.
Thank you. Mr. Rex Walls, do you regret forcing self-reliancy on your children?
Honestly, in the past, there have been times, such as whenever I had alcoholism, where I could have done better to help with my kids' futures, but in the end, it turned out well and they're fulfilling their dreams.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rex Walls, second question. How do you feel about your children's accomplishments?
All of my children are actually very successful, and honestly, it's not about the materialistic things that they have gained, it's about their emotions and how happy they have been.
Thank you, sir. Miss Rosemary Walls, what was the purpose of forcing self-reliancy on your children?
Well, it's actually in the name. I want my kids to be self-reliant on themselves. So if me or Rex were to just leave one day, go missing, they shouldn't be in too much trouble. They know how to take care of themselves. They can be successful and thrive in the world without us. They don't need us. They can be good on their own.
Thank you. Second question. How do you feel about your children's accomplishments?
Well, I wouldn't view them as accomplishments. They're too focused on conforming to society's rules that they're forgetting their true values and what they are. They're so much focused on getting the best grade when they should be focused on who's doing the best artwork and who's connecting with nature more. My kids just aren't doing that.
Thank you. Third question. Do you wish that you could raise your children differently than you did?
No. I think I did an amazing job as a mother. I taught them to rely on themselves, and they're all, well, save for the last one, pretty successful. So I think they don't have to rely on anybody else except for themselves. They all turned out pretty well. So I don't think I made any mistakes or errors.
Okay. Last question. Is there ever a point that you would be willing to step in for your children?
No. They all handled themselves amazing. They learned to deal with things. Like, one time Jeanette came to me about a man that approached her, and honestly, I thought the kid was exaggerating. I mean, she handled it herself. It's over with. It's not a big deal. They handle it. All my kids learn to handle the problems that come up to them. So, no, I don't think I need to step in.
Thank you. Miss Jeanette Walls, at what moment in your life did you realize it was really dysfunctional and outright abusive?
Well, it was mainly whenever that summer when my mom went away and my dad kept asking me for the money because I was in charge of it, and I knew that he was buying it for booze, but I just wanted to hold on to the feeling that he was doing it for our family, but really he was doing it to get drunk.
Thank you. Second question. How do you think self-reliancy helped you in the long run?
Well, despite all the negative things that happened, I did move out to New York at a young age and paid for rent with my own money and got a job. So, I mean, in the end, I turned out pretty well.
Okay, thank you. Last question. At what point do parents need to step in and take responsibility for the kids?
Well, for one thing, when I was younger, I always had to fend for myself. And my first memory is cooking myself dinner and end up burning myself. I should not have been doing that. Looking back on it now, my parents should have been feeding me and not letting me make my own food or go starving for weeks on end.
Thank you.